We've been through 15 countries, had 23 tournaments, and now we're back in Spain for the final 2 events of the regular season here on the Challenge Tour. And we're at Empordà Golf Club, about 40 minutes from Girona on the east coast of Spain, and we'll be here for those final 2 events. The pressure and the tension has just gone up a few notches as some of these guys will be looking to crack the top 45 and make it to the grand final in Mallorca in a few weeks' time.
Thanks very much, Josh, and welcome along to highlights of the Empordà Challenge with myself, Michael McMullen, alongside the former European Tour winner, Welshman Rhys Davies. But before we get to the action, it's time to take a look at how things stand on those all-important rankings. And top of the road to Mallorca standings, it's Spain's own Santiago Tarrio. Then Ricardo Gouveia of Portugal is second, followed by Dane Marcus Hellekilde off the back of his win last time out at the Swiss Challenge. As Josh said, so many players here have their eye on securing a place at the Challenge Tour Grand Final, all leading towards the ultimate goal of a top 20 finish on the rankings, and with that, a European Tour card for next season, as Josh gets out to the course here at Empordà to catch up with some of the field.
Angel, good afternoon. You're 20th in the rankings coming into this week. 2 events left then, the Grand Final in Mallorca. What are your targets now for the rest of the season?
Don't think a lot in the ranking. I think was the bad part in the last few tournaments for me after winning Germany. I was thinking a lot in the ranking, and that's why I think I don't play really solid. Obviously the weekends was really good in Portugal and last week in Switzerland. But yeah, have fun and enjoy every single day, and we'll see what happens.
Jigger, good afternoon. 53rd coming into the rankings with 2 events to go. How has that changed your goals and targets for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, massively. I mean, prior to this, I was talking to Jamie, about safety nets and all this sort of stuff, and now it's like, well, actually, it's game on, really. I think, play some good golf. The top 20 is in sight now, and things can escalate in this game quite quickly. Either way, actually, you can gain a lot of confidence and you can lose a lot of confidence really quick. So it was a big week for me, sort of just to give me a bit of a boost, and it's been great.
It's just over 30 years now since Empordà opened here in Girona, very close to the famous Pals, which next year will celebrate the 50th anniversary of hosting the first ever European Tour event. Now, John Murphy's been performing well on the European Tour lately, and the Irishman has brought some of that form here, putting himself in the picture with 3 67s. Swede Bjorn Hellgren is alongside Murphy on 12 under par. After this birdie closed out a third round 65, easily his best of the week so far. 65 also for Hellgren's compatriot Jens Dantorp, assisted by this approach to set up a short-range birdie at the 14th as he moved to 15 under. But it's an Anglo-French tie at the top. Andrew Wilson backed up his opening 66 with a second round 64, including this shot at the 9th. Then it was a 67 to follow. So Wilson is 16 under, a score matched by Frenchman Julien Brun. Back-to-back 65s got him up and running. This tee shot on 11 contributed to a 67 on day 3 for the 29-year-old, who's already won on the Challenge Tour this season. So just a stroke covering the top 3 players, then it's a bit of a gap back to the rest. With this sort of scoring, so much can still change on the final day. But this final 3 have laid down a real marker to the rest of the field here in the Spanish sunshine, so Jens Dantorp, Andrew Wilson and Julien Brun will take some catching as we move into the action on what's already looking like being one of the most memorable days of this Challenge Tour season. Per Langfors is yet another Swede in the mix, starting the day 5 off the lead. He just missed the opening fairway, but still produced this, which led to an opening birdie. Jeremy Freiberghaus sandwiched a 70 in between a couple of rounds of 66. Birdie for him also at the first. And the man from Switzerland is alongside Langfors on 12 under. And how about this from Bjorn Helgren, missing the green on the left, short-sided, but no problem, as his ball disappears into the cup. Also a birdie to start for Helgren. Straight away, he is within 3. And here we are with the final group.
We got Wilson here with his second shot into the top pin on the left of the green. Good shot, good contact, but as we can see, spinning off down the ridge, and that'll leave a tricky 2-putt early on in the round.
As I said, Brun has already won on the Challenge Tour in 2021, the Open de Bretagne back in June.
Good chance here for Brun to put a good swing on it and get the ball in close early on in the round. But that's going to leave a tricky up and down. That's some fairly thick rough, short-sided here on the first green.
Langfors, as we said, was short-sided at the first. Didn't stop him making birdie, though.
That's a fantastic shot. Pitched right over the top of the pin. Lovely spin control, and we'll leave a 4-footer up the hill. Excellent swing there by the Swede.
Not a million miles away from the position that we saw that chip in just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, class that.
Yep, called it for us there, Michael. That was an excellent shot by Brun, and give him a short chance to save his par.
And Langfors, nothing like a birdie start. That's what's on the line for him here.
See, nice posture over the ball and a nice swing of the putter. Straight into the middle, no mistake. 2 birdies to start. Really hot, off to a very hot start.
Now Wilson, this looks like 2-putt and you're quite happy to walk off territory, Reese.
Yeah, most definitely. Up a big rise, down the other side. Pace is absolutely key here, and he's made a very good job of that. Still a little work to be done, but yeah, he'll be pleased with that effort.
Now this is Jesper Svensson. 65 for him in the third round, his best so far.
Oh, so close. What a great shot. Kick in birdie on the second, no problem at all.
And that'll be his first of the day, following a par at the opening hole.
Jens Dantorp found the middle of this first green, got a similar putt to Wilson, so he'll have a good idea of what to expect.
And that'll be a nice solid start. Twice a winner on the Challenge Tour, Dantorp, but not since 2017. John Murphy, as I said, has had a remarkable few weeks, Reese.
Yeah, top 10 on the Alfred Dunhill just a few weeks ago on the European Tour. And following in there with a great birdie at the second.
Just oozing confidence at the moment, and why not with the company he's been keeping in recent times?
This will be an important up and down for Brun. He didn't hit a very good second shot. Left himself in an awkward position, hit a lovely little pitch. And a good save. Well done.
So, various routes to par at the first. I mean, it's as you were at the top for the final trio. Langfors followed his birdie start with a par at the short third. And it's the Swede who's the most significant early mover then among the contenders. So much more to come from the final round of the Empordà Challenge in a moment. Welcome back to the Empordà Challenge, one of the climactic events of what's already been a thrilling season on the Challenge Tour. This stunning location opened in 1990, with the hotel celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. And there's a welcome for everyone here, as the course is pay and play, all set against the backdrop of one of the most glorious and popular destinations in all of Spain. Back then to the final round action, as the stars of this tour battle for their share of the €200,000 prize fund. We've already seen Andrew Wilson's opening par, but walking after this bunker shot, not a good sign for the joint overnight leader, and that was to cost him a shot at the second. Now Jens Dantorp is looking for his first Challenge Tour win in 4 years, and he made his first move of the day on number 2. That's a cast iron birdie. Never a chore to repair your divot after a shot like that. 3 pars to start for Julien Brun, but this at the 4th was to keep that run going. Brun's first move is in the wrong direction. So, big changes at the top after Dantorp picked up another shot at the 3rd. 1 stroke behind at start of play, he now leads the tournament by 2. Svensson looking for his second birdie already in this final round.
Good opportunity here, putting across the green and makes no mistake. Great start to his final round.
Now, think if there was a prize for best name of any player in the field, Reese, this man would claim it. Jeremy Freiberghaus. Twice a winner last year on the Pro Golf Tour, which is 1 level below this.
Yeah, but that shows he's playing well and he's used to winning, which is a great sign in this game. Oh, lovely tee shot here at the par 3 6th. Tight left-hand pin, but he finds it. Good chance for a birdie.
Dantorp now at the 5th.
He's already just hit a lovely wedge shot in a couple of holes ago and made a similar swing. But no, that will be awkward. Rolling further away from the flag and got a nasty 2-putt looking ahead of him up and over a big slope.
Missed the cut last time out at the Swiss Challenge, so clearly finding some form that was missing on that occasion. Now Brun at the same hole.
Yeah, this is a real hit and hope scenario. Ball could come out and go anywhere. Holding onto the club face, and what a fantastic effort he's made there. Tight left pin location, and he's found it. That's a remarkable shot from that position.
Wilson coming from a more favourable location.
Yeah, he's got a good angle here. He's obviously out the slightly fluffy grass, so spin will be difficult, but he's managed that very well. Landed into the top of the upslope. Great, great birdie chance from no more than 6 or 7 feet.
Now Langford's made a birdie start. 3 pars in a row since then.
Yeah, long effort here at the par 3 6. He's going to be putting up and across the slope. What a result. Straight into the back of the hole with authority. It looks like he means business.
You get the sense it's going to be a day when 1 or 2 players are really going to take advantage of the good conditions and get very inspired. Langford's certainly heading in that direction early on. So we go back to Freiberghaus after that excellent tee shot. Maybe deserved to be even a little closer than this.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like when you've seen a putt go in, is there enough room for my ball as well? And unfortunately for him, that is the case here. Not his best stroke and have to settle for a par 3. Dantorp here with a very difficult putt, up and over a slope. It'll be very quick in the second half of the putt. Great effort, but you can see just how speedy that was, and that's going to be a really difficult par-saving effort up and coming for him.
Yeah, it did look like potential 3-putt territory, even as he stood over it. We'll get back to him in a moment. But now Svensson, who's had 2 birdies already today.
Lovely pass at the ball there, and I suggest it's on line. Lovely swing, lovely shot.
And that could well be birdie number 3 for him.
Now, Brun, having hit from the very high grass to the right of the fairway here, for a very much an unlikely birdie. That's definitely stealing one there.
Yeah, you get the sense that in this final group, they're not all going to fall away on a day like this, so anyone coming from behind is going to have to go very low to have a chance here. Now, Dantorp, this is really tricky, Reese. Big pressure early on.
It is big pressure. He's seen one of his main rivals make a birdie as well. Looked like a decent putt, but slightly overread it, and that's a disappointing bogey.
Murphy was only 6 behind the winner, Danny Willett, in the end at the Dunhill Links. As you mentioned earlier, Reese, he had a top 10 finish there. That got him into the Spanish Open the following week, where he was 24th.
Lovely touch by the young Irishman. He's starting out his career on the European Challenge Tour and making a good fist of it so far.
The production line of Irish talent of the last 15 to 20 years just continues. Now, Wilson, this would be a nice one to get on 5.
Yeah, lovely second shot, lovely putt. Played the hole as you're supposed to. Well played, Andrew Wilson.
Svensson had birdies on 2 and on 5. And now on 6 as well.
Yeah, he's starting to look really good. Very much a free-flowing swing and a free-flowing putting action.
Dantorp's first mistake then comes at a hole where Wilson and Brun both got their first birdie of the day, so that 2-shot gap is already gone. It's now a 3-way tie with half a dozen others, all trailing by 4 or less.
Brun here at the par 3 6th. Pin on the left. Good aggressive action through the ball. And that's fine. Middle of the green, no harm at all.
Dantorp looking for a bounce back. I think having any significant number of bogeys on your card today, Reese, could all but cost you any chance of victory, so it's important not to slip into any sort of rut.
Absolutely, you'd expect, as we've seen already, lots of birdies. You need to fire lots of shots at the flag, like that one, and a good chance for an immediate bounce back.
That's the way to respond. Let's skip ahead to the 8th. Josh will tell us all about it.
The 8th hole is a par 5, and don't be sucked in by the views behind me. This is a brute at 597 yards long. There's water all down the right off the tee, up to about 320 yards, so that's in play for all the players. The longer hitters might get here with a northerly wind, but they probably lay up, and the area to lay up in is really small too. But the green, like a lot of them here at Empordà Golf, is huge. It's 49 yards long. So the tournament organisers could put pins anywhere here. And the rough around this green is thick, it's gnarly, it's really different. It can sit down a little bit, or it can stand up. That one's really sat down. So the players' short game is going to be really tested if they miss this green. So a birdie is a really great score here on the 8th.
Yeah, I think you see players at this level, Reese, on par 5s, you're always thinking they should birdie them, but it's not always a given.
It's not, no. I've always felt sometimes the longer the hole, the more chances you've got to hit a poor shot, but as well as a good one. But Langford's there with a fantastic shot, out of position and controlling the ball beautifully to set up a very short birdie chance.
Yeah, it's a wonderfully designed hole. You really have to work for your birdie on that particular long hole. Now, this is a pretty horrible spot for Wilson.
This is horrible. Sandy lie, very difficult to control. Club face bouncing. Yeah. Enough said of that one.
Back to the 8th with Freiburg House.
2 good nice long shots. Little pitch and run. Not bad. You'd have liked it a little closer.
After his bogey at the 4th, Brun is already back to level par for the day.
Looks very calm and composed during this final round. What a great putt by Julien. Cross the green, up to 17 under. He looks like a tough one to beat today.
He's been in fine form recently. You can see the confidence that he's feeding off. Yeah, well done, as we said. One of the harder par fives on which to find your four. Freiburg House gets it to 13 under. He's still hanging on to some sort of contention here.
You feel a very important putt already for Andrew Wilson. He's not hit a very good chip. Did hit a good putt, but it just slides by. Disappointing bogey at the 6th, up and coming.
Yeah, it was always going to be hard to get his par after that tee shot.
Langfors, after a fantastic third shot from the right-hand scrubland. Easy birdie, well played, only 2 back.
Dan Torp then, this will get him into a tie for the lead. A third of the way through his final round. Gave it every chance, Reese.
Yeah, he played it well. Very good tee shot and a good putt, having played the previous hole poorly. He looks calm, he looks in control and swinging nicely.
So Brun is now under par for his day and leading on his own. Dan Torp's fast start has fizzled out a bit, but he's in sole possession of second. Wilson falling back into the pack a bit for now. Julien Brun then out in front as he chases Challenge Tour victory outside his own country for the first time. The story continues in a moment. It's the final round of the Empordà Challenge, starting a run of 3 successive Spanish events to round off the 2021 Challenge Tour season, 2 of them at this location. Some players going very low on this last day, and nobody more so than Jarand Ekeland Arnoy of Norway, poised for a top 10 finish after sprinting up the field with a 62. Jonathan Thompson's run of 6 birdies on the bounce around the turn was halted by bogey at the 13th, but on the very next hole, he did this, 7 under for the day now, and that's with 2 drop shots on the card. Jesper Svensson is also having a day to remember. Birdies on 2, 5, 6, 7, and now 9 as well. The Swede is out in 30 and in title contention. Not such a good front 9 in the end for Jens Dan Torp as he gave back both the shots he gained early on, but he can still win this, especially if he keeps hitting shots like this birdie maker at the 10th. Dan Torp making a good fist of it. Julien Brun's front 9 not quite as explosive as some of the others we've seen today, but he's getting the job done right now. He too has made further ground on number 10. And that birdie sees Brun go 2 ahead with 8 to play. Wilson has found a much needed birdie on the 9th. Par at the next sees him in the group sharing second. And here is the man they're all chasing, Reese.
Yeah, 2-shot lead. 8 holes to play is a great position to be in. Just see the wind picking up a little bit in the background. Maybe that'll have something to say further on down the back 9. And another green found by Brun.
Freiburg House has only had 1 top 10 on the Challenge Tour this season. That was when he finished in 10th place at the Finnish Challenge, closing round of 63 there.
Lovely touch of the par 5. Easy birdie. Very much an outside chance here for Brun at the 11th. Won't want to do anything too crazy.
Yeah, you feel he's still going to need to pick up another shot or 2 from here on in if he's going to win this, but also important not to give anything back to the field. As we have a look at Nathan Kimsey on 12.
Yeah, a little pitch and run from the front of the green. Gets it running at the hole nicely. Very tidy shot.
Wilson in chasing mode at the moment. He could do with something big happening. For example, holding this one on 11.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. You feel like you just get one against the head. Ooh, great try there. I like the positive effort. He's trying to chase, he's trying to win.
Murphy once again. Must be feeling great about himself at the moment and really optimistic about the future. He's shown what he can do on the main tour in recent weeks. Back on familiar territory now and still playing well.
Yeah, that was an excellent swing there into the par 5 playing downwind. He'll have a really good opportunity for an eagle 3.
It's all fallen away a bit for Helgren. He had a birdie at the first, but he's 4 over for the holes he's played since then.
Wow, that was a big bounce, but a great bounce for Helgren. 10 feet for eagle.
And a chance to make back some of that ground that he's lost.
Dan Torp's been solid in this final round, if not too spectacular just yet. This will be a great chance, great opportunity for him. Wind picking up, Michael. It suggests that play is not quite as easy now as it was earlier in the day.
Yeah, that could make for a very exciting finish. Oh, he will never forgive himself for that one. That is absolutely horrible at any level of the game. Just a momentary lapse of concentration can be so costly.
Svensson's playing partners have got short eagle putts, so he would have been under quite a lot of pressure over that one, and he's up to the challenge. Well done, up to 17 under. This is not easy. This is a left to righter. A little bit of pace on it. Well played, lovely looking stroke.
Yeah, and very often when you win as a front runner, it's the moments like that which can prove decisive. Back to Murphy. Unlikely to win now, but he can at least give himself a glimmer of hope if this one goes in.
Not to be, but Murphy's fighting hard. He's trying to get as many points on the board as he possibly can early on in his career.
With this wind getting up, always the possibility that some of the front runners could start making a few mistakes and let the likes of Murphy back into it. 4 shots gone in the last 10 holes for Helgren. He can get 2 of them back here in one fell swoop. Nicely done.
Yeah, very much needed. Excellent eagle 3.
Svensson still hasn't dropped a shot all day, and he's right on the shoulder of Brun. Only one in it now. Thompson, meanwhile, has found yet another birdie at the 16th.
Nice tee shot by Brun at the par 5. Looking to try and hold this against the slight right to left wind. You can see the right arm working under the shaft, but he's overdone it a little bit. Found the bunker, and that's going to be awkward. Short-sided, downwind, no room on the green. That'll really test his skills.
Thompson was very nearly a winner on the European Tour back in 2018. Lost out in a playoff for the Made in Denmark tournament to Matt Wallace. Has been a winner on the Euro Pro, which again is one level below this. What a day he's having.
Lovely shot. Little unlucky with the spin he created on the ball, but quite clearly playing with a lot of confidence.
Wilson probably didn't come here with a great deal of confidence after missing his last 3 cuts. Things have turned around for him this week.
Played that very nicely. That was not as easy as it looked. Slightly cupped lie, up a very small elevation and onto a downslope. Played it lovely.
I mentioned that Brun has won on the Challenge Tour this season. He first did so all the way back in 2012, again in his home country, in Toulouse, as an amateur. And that was a slightly amateur-looking shot, Reese.
Yeah, that was poor. It looked like he was really going for the spectacular when maybe a more conventional approach to give a 10 or 12 footer would have been a better option.
Been a great day for Thompson, as we said, but he probably needed that one to go in.
Dan Torp in the other bunker to Brun, with a much easier shot, with more green to play with. And makes the most of it. Made an excellent job, well played.
Now Brun, slightly embarrassing to find himself in this position, having to retrace his steps, as it were.
On a hole where players are making eagles and birdies for fun, and he's going to be left with a very tricky par-saving effort. That'll test him.
So Wilson will put himself right in the mix here. Getting things back on track after falling away a little earlier on. So, another character test for Brun, Reese.
Yeah, you feel this is a big moment in the tournament. And wow, he's up to it. Well done. Real test of your nerves there.
Steady as she goes then for Brun, still holding off all challengers with only 6 holes to go. Wilson getting back on track, and alongside Svensson leading the charge. Half a dozen players could still be the winner of the Empordà Challenge. The finish is next. Welcome back to the climax of the Empordà Challenge, the penultimate event before the field is finalised for this year's Challenge Tour Grand Final in Mallorca. Jonathan Thompson came here on the back of a second-place finish at the Swiss Challenge. He might just go one better today. 11 birdies in a 62 for 17 under. Talk about posting a target. Great scoring also from Jesper Svensson, whose dream approach to 14 made it a formality to get to 7 under for his round. And that's been followed by a couple of pars. Julien Brun, meanwhile, has had 5 pars in a row since birdieing the 10th, so he's now tied with Svensson. Thompson has done all he can for now, but may yet regret his bogeys on 6 and 13. Freiburg House not out of it, perhaps, Reese, if he can get this one.
Yeah, good chance here and a par 5 to finish, you never know. Got it, well played. 16 under. Eaglet than last, maybe.
Well, that would overtake the target, which has already been set by Thompson. As we go back to a man who's now the joint leader.
He's playing nicely though, his body language and demeanour is holding strong.
7th, 10th and 5th on his last 3 Challenge Tour starts coming into this. 5 top 10s in total this season on this circuit. Now Josh is on 17.
The penultimate hole here at Empordà Golf Club, it's 435 yards long, and it's a sneaky par 4, this one. The players got a choice off the tee, go 3-wood or driver. A 3-wood will probably leave them something like a 7-iron into this green. The second cut of rough, it's horrible. It's that gnarly rough that they've got around here. And the third cut, well, it just reads up to your waist. Don't go in there, it'll be an absolute nightmare. The approach into this green can be tricky. No real bunkers on this hole, just grass ones down the front. It's very soft down there, difficult to control. The rough around this green, like a lot on the back 9, some of it can sit up and some of it can sit down just like that. It's going to test the short player's game, this hole. A 4 is a really good score here.
Well, Svensson hasn't dropped a shot all day. This would be a horrible time to do it.
Yeah, as Josh was describing, he's found one of those grassy knolls at the front of the green. Didn't play it too bad, but quite clearly didn't have any control on the ball. This would not be the time to drop a shot.
But it will be a great time, with all that in mind, for Brun to get to 19 under. He's passed a few tests of nerve and character already on this back nine.
Gave it a good run. Felt like he could hold that one and run it 3 foot past. Now this is awkward. He quite clearly doesn't want to drop a shot, but he really doesn't want to drop two.
Yeah, that was a distinct possibility, given the position he put himself in, and it remains so for the man who was second at the Finnish Challenge in August.
Dantorp to get within one. So close. This game really can be a fine margins between success and failure. You can see the emotion in him there.
Now Svensson has really arrived at the must-make stage, you would feel. Well, that was important. So he'll need a birdie at the last to set a new clubhouse target. But the last is a hole where he's taken bogey 6 in 2 of the 3 previous rounds. Freiburg House then needs this to retain any chance. Agonising way for a very good week to finish.
It's a good indicator there. There's obviously a lot of break around the hole. That'll be something to look out for as the leaders come down at the end here. Excellent finish. He'll be pleased with that.
66 for him for the 3rd time this week.
Brun, having made his par putt back at 16, found the fairway here into 17. Can he hit one close and stamp his authority on this tournament? Decent, but not spectacular.
Yeah, I think that more or less sums up his back nine so far. He's just doing enough at the moment. If he keeps doing enough, he will be holding the trophy at the end. Now Dantorp, man who was 4th in Portugal in September, is only top 10 this season. He'd been 11th 4 times this year prior to that.
That was a nice swing. He's swinging well, it's just not being quite able to capitalise on some of his good iron play.
But real problems for Svensson, all falling apart for him towards the finish here. Well, he needed to hold that to match Thompson on 17 under, so Svensson is now out of the running.
Clearly very dejected. That's a tough one to stomach there.
Murphy has only had 1 top 10 on the Challenge Tour this season. He's going to have another one here, and it looks like being his best finish of the campaign. Definitely now. That's what you want your last swing of the week to be like, every week.
Great second shot. Really good opportunity there to finish off with an eagle.
Now Brun could put one hand on the trophy here. But again, he's just getting enough done.
He is. He's playing very steadily. Some of his nearest containers have made some errors here towards the end. He hasn't. He's maintained his composure, maintained his swing, and at the moment in the driving seat.
Well, Svensson probably never wants to see this hole again. Did birdie it in the 2nd round, put 6 in round 1, 6 again in round 3, and
Get in.
miraculously, 6 again in the final round. Still a horrible way to finish, though, and you just know that is what he'll be thinking about after signing his card. Bogey, bogey ending, but still much to be encouraged by in a closing 66. Dan Thorpe tied 3rd at the Scottish Open 3 years ago, so he's clearly a player of real quality.
Yeah, I've watched Jens for a few years now, and his game always looks impressive to me. Hasn't quite had the results I perhaps expected, but maybe there are better things to come from him towards the end of this season.
His race has run as far as winning this title is concerned at this stage. Well, October has been a month to remember for John Murphy, and it isn't over yet. Not often you see someone shoot the same score in all 4 rounds. A quartet of 67s, add up to 16 under after that eagle on the final hole. Speaking of the final hole, here is Julien Brun.
Important tee shot here. Try and find the fairway, make it his job as easy as possible.
From what I can gather, he's on 5 already.
Parred at the last 2 days after a birdie in round 1. So the sign's good that he'll get what he needs. Well, it's Helgren's 2nd eagle in the last 7 holes. Couple of birdies as well, but 4 dropped shots. Never going to get it. Done for him today. Helgren loses much ground with a closing 70. And here's the man of the moment.
Still work to be done. He's got to stay focused, keep hitting his targets. Looked a nice swing.
No need for any heroics. He hasn't produced many over these closing holes.
Yeah, it's been surprisingly uneventful from him.
Those behind him just haven't done enough to put the level of pressure they needed to. They've made the mistakes. He hasn't.
One good final wedge shot into the green. Well played, kept it below the hole. Didn't want to go long there to be putting down the slope. 15 feet left for his birdie 4.
So 2 putts to be the champion. That's absolutely fine, and I think that just sums up the way he has closed this out. He'll slip a coin behind that, enjoy his moment when it comes. Dan Thorpe never recaptured his bit of early momentum, and par at the last meant it was 71, his highest score of the week, and the Swede trailing away, looking somewhat downbeat after a disappointing closing stretch. Wilson signing off by birdieing 18 for the 3rd time this week. 13 was very clearly unlucky for him with the double bogey. 71 also for the Englishman. In the end, though, it's all about one man. Just 1 putt left from here to win it, but that's all he needs, and Julien Brun is a winner on the Challenge Tour for the 2nd time this year. And on a day of such good scoring, in the end, 8 straight pars to finish proved good enough to take the trophy. Brun the winner then by 1 from Thompson, who gave it everything with that sublime 62. Freiberg, House, Murphy, Svensson and Wilson share 3rd.
We never really got it going in that group, so we couldn't really feed off each other, and it wasn't easy, but just to get it done, that's all it matters. This one is very sweet. Like I was in the lead all week, like the first one as well, and it was very sweet to have my dad on the back and have a little family affair out there, so very nice one.
And very nice to find himself now in third place on the road to Mallorca with 2 events to go. Santiago Tarrio not here this week, so Ricardo Gouveia cuts the gap very slightly after finishing tied 47th. French joy for Julien Brun at Empordà. From me, Michael McMullen, and Rhys Davies, it's goodbye.